Hello, hello. Oh my god, I'm gonna need to leave the camera off for now. I cannot believe how I feel this morning. It's great though. It's really weird. It's one of the because I actually slept deeply. I feel like I actually got caught up in a little bit of sleep, but my god, I looked like I was abducted by aliens last night, which I may well have been, and like gang raped for like. But time was slowed down, so like it actually went on for months, and then they finally returned me. That's how I look and feel right now. But I did. I think I had a deep. Well, I had deep something. I don't know if it was sleep. It's probably alien dick. I think. That's how I feel, but in a good way. Now that sounds weird. That sounds like I want alien dick. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like I know I slept deep. It's almost like I don't know. It's almost like the hangover. Like the hangover is the cure to the alcohol, isn't it? You know what I mean? You have a wild night on the lash, and then you feel like crap with the hangover. But really, the hangover is the cure. The hangover is the recovering from the debauchery the night before. Well, it's like the same with sleep. I feel like the good sleep will leave you feeling extra groggy, extra shit. Okay, I'm only going to show my camera briefly, and like I look actually better than I did. That my eyes were like, oh my god, you wouldn't believe what my eyes look like. But look at me. Do I not look like even worse than normal? But I feel like what will happen is I'll sort of like peak. So right now I just woke up, and it's like it's actually a lot late, quite late for me to wake up, which is why I feel good about it. And then I add up the sleep. I probably had a good like 9 hours of sleep there, and I didn't wake up once. So I know that that is kind of what my body needs. But now my body's like, oh my god, what is this? Where are we? What are you doing to me? Unity, right now, are you insane? Yes, Unity, right now. No one else is going to do it. No, I enjoy doing this. So I'm leaving my camera off for now because I don't know. I feel. God, do I feel rough. But I think it's just the storm before the calm, you know? It's just the grogginess of the amazing sleep that I had. Oh, I was right earlier, and I really was abducted by aliens last night and gang raped for months on end. That would make more sense given how I feel, but yeah, hopefully it's just the deep sleep and the grogginess thing. Okay, so where are we up to? Well, we've got lots of systems. Let's take a look at where we're at because I'm getting kind of confused myself. I feel like there's some systems here that need to be debugged before we move on. I did add some nice little animation and some music. Let me have a look. I'll make sure. Yeah. And then, yeah. All right, let's just hit play. So there you go. Our login screen is looking a lot more interesting. Give me a chance to try out my new mascot character. Oh, I think it's looking pretty good. Now I may change it here so that whoever you were last using as your main character is the character that loads in your chamber. Maybe, I don't know yet, possibly. But because this would be the state of a brand new player creating an account, it should be our mascot character here who's like introducing you. Alright, so first things first, let's log in. What went wrong? Nothing. Why aren't we logging in? Signed in successfully. Why was that so slow? Failed to load player data. HTTP request timed out. Huh. What's going on, Unity? So it's signed in successfully, but failed to load player data. Good morning, Alexandria. Okay, that's weird. Maybe it was just a one-off little glitch. Let's try it again. That's really strange. So it signed me in, but it failed to load the player data. Have I added a field or something and forgotten that I have added a field? I don't think so. Mind you, I haven't signed in for a couple of days. I've been working on like login stuff and characters and stuff, so... Oh, we're okay now. Weird. Okay, this time we logged in. It got the energy, the next energy time stamp. Oh, good morning. Yeah, how are you? Updated energy. So, yeah, it's being really weird though. Like, it's the accumulation. Okay, we can see it logged in. Okay, it's time syncing with the server. It loaded my currency. It loaded my energy. I think my energy is bugged though, because I'm pretty sure energy is supposed to cap at like... I don't think it's idly charging correctly. Okay, let's go through the code and figure out what's going wrong. First of all, I can't remember how much energy it's supposed to cap out at. Okay, so our... Don't need that right now. We don't need that right now. Okay, energy. Let's go through the login process. Let's create user. Okay, so let's go through the login process. So we start an async task of login. We pass in the username and the password. We await authentication service from Unity's gamer services. And if that works correctly, then we log back in that we report back that we're assigned in successful. This would have been called by, there it is, account login. So we await login, which was that. Then we go on to load player data. So then load player data, and everything was fine. Well, everything's fine. I think it's just we've got bugs. Okay, so then we go into load player data. So we create a hash set including UID created, which is when the account was created, last log on, which is when obviously the player last logged on, and next energy, which is when was the player due for their next energy from the energy time system. Because from that we figure out how much energy they should have accumulated while they've been offline. Right, so then we declare a saved data variable container, which is pulled in from cloud save service instant data player load in sync async, and then we pass in the keys. So the keys are these fields here. So we basically say to Unity Cloud Service, hey, we want to load this player's data using these keys here. So we want UID created, last log on, next energy. I'm to drugs for that crazy background. It's starting to look a little bit more interesting, at least. Okay, check if UID is available and load it. So we basically load in the player's UID. and then we set it in the UID field on the UI. Check if created is available and load it. So then we get the login created timestamp, last logon timestamp, next energy timestamp. Okay, that all seemed to work fine, and that we need to move on to the next task now. Where is it? Log on. Right, so after load play data, we fetch server time asynchronously. So we get a timestamp from the server. We basically poll the server once every minute just to make sure that we're still connected, and the server, we know what time it really is, we know what time the server is, blah blah blah. That's working because we actually put it up here, server time, so we can see server time is updating correctly, so we know that our server time synchronization is working. Then we say systemdb set db player, so we basically pass the fields from cloud stored data into our protected memory area local on the client, so that we can get access to it faster and we don't need to pull it from the server again. Bool first today equals check first today. Yeah, this isn't working as well. There's supposed to be daily login rewards that should be popping up every day that aren't popping up. So let's see if the time now, so that grabs it from the server time timestamp that we've got up here. And then basically, if last logon date dot date is not today's date, because that's the only if we need to know. So if it wasn't today, basically, if it wasn't today the last time the player logged on, then we return this to be true, that this first time the player is logging on today. So that should be, I don't see any problem with that. That looks correct to me. So then that should come back as true. Right, if first time today, so this is the next thing we do. We look at a consecutive system. We basically feed that into a protected memory and we increment it by 1. But that only increments the local consecutive, doesn't it? Oh no, then we update it again there. But wait. Oh yeah, no, we pull it. Okay, so we pulled the consecutive date. We pull consecutive number of days the player's logged in from protected memory. Then we increment it by 1. Then we put it back into protected memory with the updated value. Then what we do is we call daily rewards and we pass the consecutive integer to it. And then daily rewards using the consecutive integer basically says, hey, if the player has logged in for less than 31 consecutive days, then essentially they are eligible for their new player daily rewards. So we create a string of player joins. So we grab their join date so we can figure out which reward they're eligible for. Oh yeah, okay, so we basically calculate 100 days from the date they joined, because they have to claim these within 100 days. If days remaining is greater than or equal to 0, check if promotion is still valid. Yeah, so basically they haven't like logged on a year later or whatever after 100 days. And if all this is good, then daily reward get component daily rewards consecutive equals consecutive. So we pass the consecutive daily number across to daily reward, and we set that active to true. Now that is not happening. Huh. I gotta try to remember where that is now. Where did I put that? Okay, there it is. Daily rewards, new player, and .NET should have access to that. DB, where is .NET? .NET is in core. .NET does have access to it. So what happens if we open this now? Is it working? And it's also saying I've only logged on for a total consecutive two days, which is not true. Right, when we open it, it's working. And it shows us that we're eligible for day 2's rewards. You can't read that. I need to move that because I updated this. I updated this graphic last night, so I need to move that now. But that aside, this isn't working. Okay. Let's have a look to see what. What is happening? So cloud save, player data. Okay, all of these were left over from tests, so let's delete them. I know this one's mine because it's the only one that has data in its default bank. These are my gacha pulls. My gacha pull tests. Okay, so delete protected data. We don't need that one anymore. Go back. We need to delete those players as well. Protected. Delete protected data. Back. Protected. Delete protected data. Okay, so now we just have me as a player, as player data, so we don't get as lost looking at this. And there I am. Okay, apparently I've logged in for 0. Well, that's incorrect, isn't it? I'm a brand new player who's never logged in before. Well, that's not fucking right, is it? Okay, so consecutive's not working properly. That would explain why it's not working. Onboarding 0 is correct. UID 35 apparently. Probably. The number of tests I've had to do. It's probably correct. To close daily rewards. Yeah, I am UID 35. Okay, UID 35. So consecutive is not working correctly. Are we just not updating it on the server, or is it not updating in protected memory? That's what I'm wondering. Can I check my protected memory fields? No, because I don't think that... Yeah, they don't show in the inspector, do they? I have to specifically query them. Well, this might be a good... Okay, this might be a good... I need a debug profile ready, though. Not a player visible profile. Because I am going to need to wire up a player profile so that they can set things like name and see certain things. So I was thinking, should I flesh out that interface now? But really, I don't know if I want that to be something that the player can see. How many days have they consecutively logged on for? Is that something the player really needs to know? I'll probably just tackle it from a debug standpoint. Right, really what I could do with is a system where I can just say, oi, return this value to me from protected data. But for that I would need reflection. Oh, this is tricky. It's tricky because I've had to make this in a very secure way, right? Because it's going to be a gacha game, so I can't use normal variables like a normal person. I have to like anything that's stored about the player is in protected data, which we can't get to easily. We have to call a function specifically and return it. All right. Well, I guess I'll just Do we have a debug script I can use? Okay, let's make one. Scripty, scripty, script. Is it a tool? I guess it's kind of a tool. We'll stick it in tools. Debug player. And for now we'll stick it on DB. Debug hasn't compiled yet. Come on, Unity. Give it to me. Thank you. Alright, so debug player, what we'll do, we'll just make it so that it basically returns everything that's in player debug. So we'll make it an on enable. We need a private SYS. On enable SYS needs inheriting. And then we can say actually, maybe it would be good for debug player. What I could do is I could put each field as a bool here. So I say what I want it to include, because this is going to start getting fleshy, like meatier and meatier, and it's going to be a pain in the ass to debug otherwise. So if I make it so that I tick the fields that I want. So let's see, what have we got in player data that we're interested in? Well, right now I only really care about consecutive. So how about each time I want to debug a specific field, we just add it to this so that I'm not like, because I've got enough to do. Right, so we can debug.log and we can say, so the first thing we need to do is say if consecutive is included in our debug scope, then we want to debug.log consecutive and then the consecutive value. When we're getting, we need to explicitly cast it from protected strings. So we need the devs daddy bullshit namespace thing. So devs daddy game shield core modules memory secured types, and we need to cast from a secured integer. A secured string. Oh, that is an integer. Secured int and return it as type int. Otherwise, it won't work. And then we might need to say that that needs to be cast back to a string again. Consecutive two strings like that. Type string cannot be used as a parameter in type number. No, I'm casting it back to a string now, right? Oh, because that's outside. It needs to be there, that's why. Okay. Nope, still doesn't like that. Cannot convert string to int. It's not a fucking string, though. Alright, it'll probably cast it anyway. We're about to find out. Alright, let's try that. So leave that off and we can call it when we want it. Also, okay, So let's pretend this was working. Let's say we've logged in for 3 consecutive days. So if I edit that number now in the cloud, okay, and log in. I don't know why this is being so slow. This thing has normally been really fast every day. I don't know why Unity Cloud Services is being so slow today. They might be like, they might have high server loads or something, I don't know. Alright, well, we're logged in. Debug consecutive, and let's see if that actually worked. Invalid cast exception, great. I know, that's why I tried to do it. Fine. God damn, what a pain in the ass. You see what a pain in the ass this is, using, like, basically trying to stop hackers. Yeah, it makes everything so much harder. Right, but this thing is fucking tight, though. Like, there's nobody, I mean, I wouldn't say nobody. I'm pretty sure at this point, in order to steal from the game, you'd have to hack Unity servers. Nothing on my end is easy to change, because even if you manage to get into the protected memory somehow or do DLL injection, everything is like server authoritative, like in terms of like gachapons and currency and even player data. So like you could change the values as much as you want on a local machine, but everything gets checked against the server anyway. Right, okay, so we want to get that integer. So what we'll do is we'll declare an integer and we'll say get consecutive. Let's just say get val equals, and then we want to grab this. So we store it as an integer first, then it's easier to just say, okay, give me get val and cast it to a string. All this, you wouldn't believe what I've had to do just to get a number out of a server. This is nothing compared to getting, what was the biggest pain in the ass? I think it was like the pity system on the gacha or something that was a right pain in the ass. Oh, yeah, that was weird as well. Yeah, okay, do I have internet problems? I need to check. Because you know, you see that little emoji that you just put there? So that showed up. So not only is this taking ages to log in, but this message showed up completely empty. And it only just updated it only just showed the image. So that image took about a minute and a half to actually show up on my chat there. And it's only a little penguin. There's something, I swear to God, there's something going on with my internet today. I'm not dropping frames or anything, am I? Oh, I'm dropping frames like crazy. Yeah, look at that. I've dropped like 14,000 frames. Okay, there's something up with my internet today. Yeah, right. I don't know if I believe it. Something's not right. Alright, anyway, let's try now. Yeah, this would just sign. Normally, this would just log me in a blink. It would just log me in a blink. And now it's like taking ages for every single query. I got 3 megabytes megabytes per second. That is tragic. I couldn't cope. So back when I lived in Exeter, my main concern when I was looking for, I lived in 2 different flats in Exeter, And the one thing I had to do, so when I first moved there, I moved in with my brother, and he had normal Exeter internet, which was like, you know, whatever that's called. They call it broadband, but it's not fiber, right? So it's like, yeah, it's like that kind of speed. And oh my god, I just can't cope with the amount of stuff that I do online with those speeds. So the first thing I did when I got my first flat was like, okay, it needs to be in one of these, because for some reason there's only a few places in Exeter that have fiber. Really weird. So I was like, right, it has to be in an area that has fiber. For both the flats that I lived in, that was like my number one priority. So I made sure I lived where there was fiber. Right. Player data save successfully. Okay, it's done the server type. Like, it's working, but everything's taking a century, which is kind of weird. Alright, let's see what this comes back with. Why? Wait, did I get it the wrong way around? Is it int to secured int? Let's have a look. No, it's oh, it is int to secured int. Yeah, I got it the wrong way around. Shit. Okay, that should be int, and that should be secured int. Okay, that's why it's not working. That's not why it's not working in the game, but that's why it's not working in the debug. I don't know why it's not working in the game. That we need to figure out. What do you think of my little mascot character? This is Placelia. Placelia. But people call her Play for short. She's the... I think she's going to be the Play Compile mascot. She's going to be my Paimon, basically. My Ai-chan. She kind of reminds me of Ai-chan as well. I think it's the hair buns. So she's going to be like the game's Ai-chan. So she's basically just going to gaslight the player constantly and try and steal all their money. Speaking of which, did you see what I put together last night? Does that not look appealing? This is exactly what they do, though, isn't it? This is exactly what they do. Like, as I'm doing this last night, I'm like, I still can't believe they get away with this. Like, I'm just like, I'm making boxes of things that don't exist and making it look enticing. That's basically trying to milk like up to $100 out of a player at any one time, and it's a number on a server that I change, and that's it. It's like they don't actually get anything, really, and yet this is what every single one of these games does. I spent all day with Etchel. Thank you very much. Yeah, Etchel's the best. Basically, it's Snowbreak level now. 90% they're just now stop game playing like 50 shovelware units. Slop gameplay. Yeah, I enjoy. There's a couple I enjoy in there. I like Ice Life. I like the original Life. The original Life's okay. And the newer Life as well that does the swirly stuff. She was kind of fun. And obviously I love Etchel, but I'm not. All the rest of the gameplay is just kind of like meh, whatever. There's a lot of complete trash duds though. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'm not really into Fenny or anything either. I don't really like Fenny's playstyle or anything. And I'm not even that big on Catcher. I don't even think Catcher's that good. It's just like, eh. But I think you probably noticed I have my favourites in these gacha games. I always have my favourite characters, and then I'll just play those characters over and over and over and over again because I like what I like. I guess I think I'm kind of fussy in particular about what I like, and then once I find something I really like, I like to just kind of marry it. I've always been like that. Yeah, I'm not one of these people who just like wants variety for the sake of variety. You know what I mean? I was like, normally I'll be sort of fussy about what I like, or even if there's just things like, okay, I like it all, but what do I like the most, right? I'll be like, okay, well, let's find what we like the most. I guess it's just part of my personality. I like to find, okay, what do I like the most here? What's my favorite? What suits me, and then just stick with it. Like sort of master one. You know what I mean? Because I think there's some truth in that as well, right? It's like, what do they call it? Jack of all trades, master of none. Like, if you play every character in a gacha game, do you really understand? Can you really understand their kit inside and out if you're just changing characters every single time a new character comes out? I don't know. Because I feel like for me, it takes time to sort of really understand. It depends what the game is, I guess, how complex it is. Well, but Kaching is a good example, right? Kaching and Genshin Impact, like she's got and Klee, they both have a lot of quirks, and there's a lot of funny little things you can do to sort of get the most out of them. And I feel like if you, unless you've like played them a lot, you just wouldn't know about these things. Um, I got 5-star Fenny shotgun, and I didn't even blink. 120 pulls taken, stolen from me. Now let me go. We should play the next co-op so I can use my new sloot. Yeah, I need to jump in. I haven't played it for a while. Give me a sec. What I'll do. Let me find out why this isn't working. If it'll even let me log in. You see my internet today. Yeah, I wonder if I need to restart this computer. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I'm dropping frames even now as we speak, apparently. So I don't know what's going on there. I might need to reboot my router or something. I am on the right connection, right? Yeah. Not on my parents' connection by mistake or anything. Right. Where is my debug that I just added? It's on DB, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, okay, so the value that's being stored in protected data is 0, and we updated it on the server to be 3. Now let's find out whether that's been updated back to 0. If it has, then the problem is when we initially read the value, we're not reading it correctly. Yes, it has been changed to 0. So the good news is we are pulling the number, we are pushing the number in all the right places. The bad news is when we pull the number, it's not reading correctly. We're reading it as 0 when it's actually something else. So let's read it as some obscure number, 223. Oh, you have to go in and do it like this. Well, let's call it 123. There we go, 123. Okay, so let's see where we pull the number in net. So it will be when we load play data, won't it? Load play data. Oh, okay, that would be why. That would be why we didn't add it to the hash set. Yeah, so we didn't create a container for it, basically. Okay, so let me just have a look at DB and see what order things are in, because I like to keep things consistent. So consecutive should exist after last logon. Okay, so we know that's why it's not working. We forgot to declare it up here in the hash set. Okay, so try get value out UID, blah blah blah, created, last logon. Oh, we also never pulled the value. Okay, this must be something I forgot to update. This will be one of those things when I'm like, oh, I'll do that later, and then never got around to it, and I've done so many things since, forgot about it. Right, so try get value consecutive. Yeah, it actually does debug out in the console there, actually. So, is it stored as a string? Do we do any other integers here? Yeah, no, UID is an integer, so when we get UID out, we declare it as an integer. Let me have a look at that. Let me see what the structure looks like for an integer. So our constructor for an integer, let's just change that one to consecutive then, because that's already set up as an integer. So that is consecutive. Fucking hell. Ah! Consecutive. var out item consecutive. So declare int loaded consecutive. What is that? Is that from the hash set? No, cloud save modules. Where's UID item? Is that what that refers to? Yeah. We set it up. Okay, so whatever I call that there is where we refer to it down there. So that's correct. That's that. Okay, I thought it was. And then we can loaded. So now we can debug back the loaded consecutive and set db player in as loaded consecutive. And then txt, well, that was just to update the number of consecutive days logged in on the interface, which we don't care about here. Okay, that should fix it. Yeah, we literally weren't even loading the fucking data. I guess I just, yeah, I guess I forgot. Alright, let's try it now. I can't tell if your internet is lagging or mine is lagging. I know mine is, definitely. Why didn't you use Etchel? The other hose died. Skill issue. Alright, let's try it now. It seems to be a lot snappier now. Yeah, it seems to be on the... Seems to be improving. Okay, so now if we get this data back, what have we got? 0? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you actually kidding me right now? Right, where was the... Let's have a look at the log. When did it load consecutive? I don't even see consecutive. Where is consecutive? Loaded last logon. Loaded UID. Oh, I forgot to update that. So that one there that I just clicked is actually consecutive. I just forgot to change the debug.log. Yeah, so it loaded 123 as our consecutive value. Did it reset the server value back to 0 again? Yep. God damn it, what is going on? Okay, so we're loading it correctly, because we're seeing it here correctly. And then, you know what I think it is? Oh, I'm an idiot. I forgot to change that one. There we go. I forgot to change that one. Yeah, okay, that should definitely be correct now. Famous last words. Okay, it's going to think it's my first log on though, because I can't be asked to change it. And that'll be a good way to test it. So what we should see after we log in is we should see our new player daily rewards. Now that's not what I'm going to do in the final game, and there's a reason why. But from all the gacha games I've played, well, maybe not every single one, but most of the gacha game I've played, you don't instantly give them a daily reward as they log in, as they create an account. Because it wouldn't, first of all, it wouldn't really mean anything to them at that point, and like also it would it would interrupt the flow of like onboarding, right? So what I have is I've got an onboarding value, and that onboarding basically describes how far into the tutorial, into the onboarding process the player is. And then what you do is you say, okay, when onboarding reaches this value, like, I don't know, they've been taught the gacha system, they've reached the end of the tutorial, they've done their first dungeon, whatever, then we display the player login, the daily rewards, and be like, hey, here's some rewards. And then they know what to do with it then, and it makes more sense. Yeah, it's still... Oh my god, it still didn't do it! Ah! Ah! Why is it always 0? What is going on? To be fair, that should only be 1 now, but it should still be 1. Right, what the fuck is happening? I swear to god, this is driving me insane. I'm only trying to use 1 digit, 1 fucking number. Right, it was loaded as 0, but that, to be fair, that's correct because it would have reset it to 0. But it should have added 1 to it. Right, account log on. So we check to see right after we've loaded player data and we do our server time sync and we set the last log on. Okay, yeah, this is where we're going wrong. Okay, this is where we're going wrong. Okay, this is where we're going wrong. We need to update last logon after we've checked the consecutive, because consecutive uses the last logon timestamp to figure out, you know, when did the player last log on. So what we were doing is we were updating the last logon time to now before we were doing the consecutive checks. So that's why it wasn't working. We need to do that after we've done the consecutive checks. Otherwise it's always going to say the last logon date was just now. Because technically it was, but we want to know about the value before that. Okay, so let's change the server and give it some obscure number. 26. Okay, we logged on for 26 days straight. This is our 27th time logging into the game. This better fucking work, I swear to god, I'm going to be so mad if it doesn't. Yay! Consecutive 26, I saw it. We're still not getting our daily login, no? Okay, but are we at least getting that number back correctly? Yay! That was 25, right? No, it was 26. Okay, that's still wrong. Wait, did I set it to 25 or 26? Because it should be 1 higher by the end of it all, right? Actually, no, maybe not, though, because... Thinking about it, that last logon date, yeah, it would think... To be fair, yeah, no, it hasn't updated the number because the last logon date would have been earlier today as we've been testing it today. So to find out if that's working, I have to manually change this date, last logon. Okay, yeah, so I won't see daily rewards unless I change that to yesterday. So if I say I last logged on yesterday... and then log in, I should finally see daily rewards for the first time ever, and it should update to 27. Okay, I last logged on yesterday, game. What are you supposed to do? Yay! And it's recognized that we're on day 27. I can claim day 27's reward. Yes. Whew. Her healing more godly than I even realised. I know, that's why I always build her as a DPS. Because it's impossible not to overheal as Echel. It's ridiculous. She's ridiculous. Okay, I finally got something to work. Right, let me see if I can load even get into the game. Because... I'm kind of tempted to just restart everything, reboot my router, and then just start from ground zero. Now we all know that this game. Oh no, this is literally what I can't do. I literally can't get the launcher up normally, can I? But the launcher's up now. Oh yeah, I see, Snowbreak. So basically, Unity's busted, OBS is busted, everything is slow and laggy, but Snowbreak works. Isn't it normally the other way around? What the hell? Where's my gamepad? Oh, it's over there on charge. Right, I'll play some of this with you, but I really need to get I need to get some work done after this, because this game's not going to make itself. And it's just that I've never done all this online stuff before. And it's really awkward. But that's exactly why I want to. I'm quite pleased with the way things are going so far, though. Why won't you give me anything? Oh, see, my internet is that slow. God knows what this is going to look like. You're going to see me lag all over the place. If it's too bad, I might have to restart everything and then come back on. Yeah, look at how slow this is. Something's not right here. Hi, spell run 3 times. What? What does it mean? What does it all mean? Better restart. Yeah, I think so. I see the new Catcher and Chernos need me like mommy saw one get one shot right before my eyes. Yeah, this is glitchy as hell. Right, let me just I'll be right back on then. I think I want to reboot my router as well, which I've never really had to do with this new connection, because my old connection used to get like that now and again, but I've never done it with this new connection. Alright, so I'll go off and I'll be back on in like, I don't know, 5 minutes, whatever it takes to reboot everything. Yeah, my bitrate, look at my bitrate, it's in the red. It's actually red. I've never seen it red before. Alright, I'll be back. See you in a bit.